The housing crash of 2025 isn't a prediction anymore. It's a full-blown disaster unfolding in real time. Across the American landscape, cities that were once booming with prosperity are now tragically submerged, drowning in endless listings, choked by relentless price cuts, and plagued by desperate, panicked sellers. Home values are experiencing an outright collapse, plummeting by a staggering 60% or even more. The economic fallout from this devastating downturn is, for countless families, proving to be even more brutal than the dark days of 2008. Builders are openly frantic, buyers have simply vanished from the market, and investors, once eager to speculate, are now engaged in a frantic race against time, desperate to unload their properties before the entire market implodes completely. From the sun-scorched stretches of suburban deserts to the serene calm of coastal retreats, no region is truly safe from this brutal reckoning. Hard-earned home equity is evaporating overnight, and crushing mortgage payments are suffocating families, turning the cherished American dream into a waking financial nightmare. These 10 housing markets are not merely facing a crisis, they are the undeniable epicenters of this unprecedented collapse. And the pain, tragically, has only just begun.
Number 10. Denver, Colorado. The mile-high city, renowned for its breathtaking mountain views, vibrant outdoor culture, and booming tech scene, became an undeniable magnet for remote workers and young professionals. Its housing market soared, reflecting immense desirability. But in 2025, Denver's elevated housing market is flashing critical warning signs, and if economic conditions worsen, it could face a severe 2008-style collapse, with home values potentially dropping by 15% to 20%. Denver's explosive growth was overwhelmingly driven by its thriving tech industry, outdoor lifestyle appeal, and a continuous influx of high-earning residents. This led to substantial price appreciation, over 50% since 2020, making it one of the most expensive markets in the interior U.S. However, a significant economic downturn would directly impact Denver's tech sector, leading to widespread layoffs and hiring freezes, drastically curtailing the influx of buyers and eroding the purchasing power of existing homeowners. With current 7% mortgage rates, affordability is already a critical concern. Job losses in a recession would immediately put immense pressure on homeowners, potentially forcing an overwhelming increase in inventory as residents can no longer afford payments. Inventory has already surged, up 38% year over year, and homes are sitting longer, average 75 days. In a true meltdown scenario, this surplus would overwhelm reduced demand, leading to widespread price reductions and a painful erosion of equity, reminiscent of the widespread financial devastation seen in 2008. Number 9. Santa Clarita, California. This sprawling, family-friendly valley city, nestled in northern Los Angeles County, was once considered a haven for commuters seeking more space and perceived value away from the dense urban core. Its master-planned communities and appealing lifestyle drove immense growth. But in 2025, Santa Clarita has transformed into an increasingly perilous landscape, with its housing market showing clear signs of a coming crash, where its rapid expansion has become its downfall. The median home price in Santa Clarita had soared to around $750,000, but now that figure is visibly sliding, with analysts predicting an 18 to 22% price drop year over year. For a widespread suburban community, even that percentage translates to a brutal loss of $135,000 to $165,000 in value for the typical homeowner, creating significant regret for recent buyers. The market's red flags are stark. Inventory is up a staggering 38% year over year, meaning there are far more homes on the market than interested buyers. Properties that once vanished in under a month are now sitting for an average of 60 to 70 days, accumulating multiple price cuts. Sellers are increasingly desperate, slashing initial asking prices to stay competitive in a rapidly cooling environment. Stubbornly high mortgage rates, stuck near 7%, mean the payment on an average Santa Clarita home exceeds $5,000 per month with 20% down, before taxes and HOAs. This is pricing out entire swaths of would-be buyers. Add in high property taxes, around 1.2% in LA County, and rising insurance costs, and the total burden balloons fast. Bottom line, Santa Clarita still has its family appeal, but its housing market is cracking under the weight of unsustainable growth, dwindling demand, and mounting unsold inventory.
Number 8. Dallas, Texas. The gleaming heart of North Texas, a symbol of relentless corporate relocations and a seemingly endless economic boom, Dallas has been a magnet for population growth and massive real estate investment. But in 2025, if the U.S. economy enters a recession, Dallas's housing market could prove surprisingly vulnerable, facing a significant collapse and threatening to wipe out recent gains for many homeowners. Dallas's explosive growth was overwhelmingly fueled by massive corporate influx, a booming tech sector, and a reputation for endless opportunity. This led to rapid price appreciation, often 60 to 80% since 2020, that, while impressive, far outpaced local wage growth and created significant overvaluation in certain segments. Developers responded by building furiously, particularly in the northern suburbs, leading to a substantial oversupply in the wider metro area. If you're finding this crucial analysis of America's collapsing markets indispensable for your future, please gently hit that subscribe button to Discover the Nation. Your support powers our vital investigations. The evidence suggests profound vulnerability. Inventory has already surged across Dallas and its suburbs, up 45% year over year, and homes are sitting longer, average 75 days. Price cuts are becoming common, signaling a pervasive lack of buyer interest. In a recession, this trend would accelerate dramatically. Job losses would directly impact affordability, pushing more homeowners into financial distress. Dallas's sheer size and growth make it seem robust, but its rapid appreciation and substantial new inventory create fault lines that could lead to a painful collapse if a recession materializes, threatening a significant loss of equity for those who bought at the peak. Number 7. Riverside, California. Once widely touted as the affordable LA and a supposed refuge for those priced out of coastal cities, the Inland Empire was seen as a pathway to the California dream. But in 2025, even Riverside, with its infamous history as a ground zero in the 2008 crash, is now facing a brutal, accelerating downturn that signals a severe market collapse, threatening to drag its values down significantly. Riverside's housing market experienced a massive boom again during the pandemic, driven by its perceived affordability. Median prices here soared, peaking around $575,000. But now, prices are visibly tumbling, pushing the median down to around $480,000, a devastating 22 to 28% drop from its peak, representing a loss of over $95,000 for the typical homeowner. This is a brutal reversal after its rapid growth. The real problem tearing through Riverside's market? An overwhelming inventory surge. Listings are up a staggering 50% compared to last year, creating an extreme surplus that demand simply cannot absorb. Homes that once vanished in days are now sitting for over 80 days, with over 35% of all listings experiencing multiple price cuts. Buyers are firmly in control, and the desperation among sellers is palpable, triggering panic. New home builders, who flooded the outskirts with supply, are now adding to the glut, leaving completed homes empty. The buy now or be priced out forever era is definitively dead here. If prices keep slipping and inventory continues to balloon, Riverside's once radiant real estate glow could tragically fade for good in 2025, leaving a trail of financial regret for those who bought into its fleeting dream.
Number 6. Henderson, Nevada. Situated just outside the dazzling lights of Las Vegas, Henderson rapidly expanded, becoming a symbol of the broader Vegas boom, with endless new communities and a thriving population. But in 2025, this once booming suburban haven is showing profound signs of a real estate collapse, threatening to turn its manicured neighborhoods into a landscape of foreclosed properties. Henderson's explosive growth was fueled by its proximity to Las Vegas's job market, its attractive master-planned communities, and the influx of remote workers and investors seeking a piece of the Vegas dream. This drove prices up significantly, and builders responded by creating massive new developments. However,
A national recession would severely impact Las Vegas's tourism-dependent economy, leading to widespread job losses that would ripple directly into Henderson. With current 7% mortgage rates, affordability is already stretched. Job insecurity would lead to increased defaults and foreclosures, especially among those who stretched to buy in newer developments. Inventory is already surging, and homes are sitting longer, with price cuts becoming common. In a true meltdown scenario, this surplus would overwhelm buyer demand. Henderson's housing market, built on the premise of endless growth and a thriving Vegas economy, is highly susceptible to an economic downturn, threatening widespread equity losses and a sharp, painful correction if a recession materializes. Number 5. Naples, Florida. Naples has long been Florida's crown jewel of coastal luxury, a place where beachfront condos routinely sell for millions and retirees serenely park their yachts beside waterfront mansions. It exuded an aura of untouchable prestige. But in 2025, this ultra-prime market is quietly, chillingly unraveling, revealing its inherent fragility and threatening a truly devastating collapse. During the post-pandemic buying frenzy, median home prices in Naples exploded from $430,000 in 2020 to over $850,000 by mid-2022. That's an almost unbelievable 100% increase in just 2 years. But like every bubble, this one has begun to hemorrhage badly. The inherent danger with Naples lies in its profound market fragility. Much of the buying here originated from out-of-state retirees, transient snowbirds, and cash-flush investors who prioritized lifestyle over logical market fundamentals. In some egregious cases, annual insurance alone has shot past $15,000 to $20,000, a truly devastating second mortgage for many. Meanwhile, homes are languishing conspicuously longer on the market. Listings have piled up like sandbags before a storm, and local agents report a pervasive vanishing of buyers, especially for properties above the $1.5 million mark. Price cuts of 20 to 30% are already visibly common, and luxury condos are facing an unprecedented inventory tsunami. With climate risks intensifying, new FEMA flood maps adding to the burden, and rising HOA fees for aging luxury buildings, Naples is rapidly losing its once untouchable appeal. For those who bought near the top, the Florida dream may tragically transform into an expensive, waterlogged, and ultimately devastating financial nightmare.
Number 4. Miami, Florida. This glittering, iconic global city, a magnet for luxury tourism, international investment, and vibrant culture, experienced an unparalleled housing boom. Its radiant sunshine seemed to promise immunity from economic woes. But in 2025, if the U.S. economy enters a recession, Miami's housing market could face a severe and painful collapse, with values potentially falling by 30 to 35% as its core drivers falter. Miami's explosive growth was fueled by its booming tourism and hospitality sectors, a continuous influx of international capital seeking safe haven, and an appealing lifestyle. Builders responded by pouring concrete for luxury condos and high-end homes at a furious pace. However, a national recession would directly cripple the tourism industry, leading to widespread job losses in hospitality and related service sectors. Discretionary spending cuts would empty hotel rooms and casinos, sending devastating ripple effects throughout the local economy. International investment, highly sensitive to global economic uncertainty, could rapidly retreat, pulling massive capital out of the market. If you're finding this crucial analysis of America's collapsing markets indispensable for your future, please gently hit that subscribe button to discover the nation. Your support powers our vital investigations. The sheer volume of new luxury inventory built during the boom would sit empty as demand for high-end second homes or investment properties plummets. Mortgage rates at 7% would make luxury purchases untenable for most buyers.
Miami's market, built on a foundation of tourism and external investment, is uniquely susceptible to cuts in discretionary spending and global capital flows. A meltdown could trigger widespread price corrections, mass liquidations, and devastating equity losses. Number 3. Austin, Texas. Austin used to be the darling of America's housing market. Young, hip, and exploding with tech jobs and a seemingly endless influx of new residents, it represented the very future of real estate. But in 2025, the music is fading fast, and its once vibrant real estate market is on the verge of a brutal, defining collapse. Between 2020 and mid-2022, Austin's median home price skyrocketed from $340,000 to over $670,000, a jaw-dropping 97% increase. That red-hot growth made it one of the fastest appreciating markets in the U.S., but it also created one of the most vulnerable, overinflated bubbles imaginable. Today, home values are conspicuously collapsing under their own unsustainable weight, signaling a massive implosion. The single biggest problem? Austin's frenzied surge wasn't built on organic local income. It was recklessly driven by transient Silicon Valley transplants, ephemeral startup IPO cash, and rampant investor frenzy. Now that widespread tech layoffs are sweeping the nation, IPO pipelines are frozen solid, and vital venture capital is utterly drying up, Austin's buyer pool is shrinking at an alarming rate by the day. Meanwhile, builders went catastrophically overboard. Suburbs like Leander, Buda, and Kyle are literally drowning in new construction. Builders are desperately slashing prices by $50,000 to $120,000, offering free appliances and even covering closing costs just to move stagnant inventory. Affordability is another lethal killer. Mortgage rates stubbornly above 7% have pushed monthly payments on a median home to over $4,200, which is tragically way out of reach for the majority of local workers. For a city that once symbolized the future of real estate, Austin is now a painful, stark reminder that when reckless speculation tragically replaces fundamental economics, even the most celebrated boomtowns can go bust hard and fast, leaving widespread devastation in its wake.
Number 2. Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas thrives on risk, but this time the house is unequivocally losing. After a wild pandemic-era boom, the Vegas housing market is now collapsing faster than a busted flush. From 2020 to early 2022, median home prices in Las Vegas shot from $290,000 to over $460,000. That's a staggering 58% spike, recklessly driven by remote workers, eager out-of-state investors, and dirt-cheap interest rates. But by 2025, the cards have devastatingly turned, and Vegas is heading for a housing bust that could tragically rival 2008. The market is in an alarming freefall. Inventory is ballooning relentlessly. The number of active listings has more than doubled in the past year alone. Homes that once sold in a weekend now sit for 3 to 4 months. Price reductions are ubiquitous. Over 40% of all listings are now being aggressively discounted, many by $50,000 to $150,000. The primary culprits? Reckless overbuilding and rampant overspeculating. Thousands of new homes were erected across suburbs like Summerlin and Henderson, foolishly targeting middle-class Californians and investors who blindly believed the Vegas boom would last forever. But now that speculative investor class is in full liquidation mode. Rents are visibly dropping, and critical Airbnb income has utterly dried up. Mortgage rates, stubbornly over 7%, have transformed once hot Vegas homes from prized commodities into financial dead weight. If you're finding this crucial analysis of America's collapsing markets indispensable for your future, please gently hit that subscribe button to discover the nation. Your support powers our vital investigations. Even worse, local wages never justified the frenzied price run-up.
Las Vegas remains dangerously reliant on tourism, hospitality, and entertainment jobs, many of which haven't returned to pre-COVID strength. That makes the market exceptionally sensitive to broader economic slowdowns. Should current, grim conditions persist, analysts grimly expect home values could regress to pre-2015 levels, meaning a brutal 60% plus correction is absolutely on the table. In Las Vegas, the real estate dream has brutally materialized as just another illusion, now melting under the intense heat of higher rates, weak demand, and a catastrophic oversupply, leaving widespread financial devastation in its wake. Number 1. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix isn't just in a housing downturn, it's rapidly becoming ground zero for the 2025 housing collapse, eerily mirroring its painful role as an epicenter in 2008. Few cities in America can match the explosive, unsustainable growth Phoenix saw during the COVID housing boom. Between 2019 and 2022, the median home price soared from $280,000 to nearly $510,000, a staggering 82% increase. But what goes up at such a reckless speed in real estate usually comes crashing down harder, and Phoenix is already tumbling headfirst into disaster. By 2025, the initial cracks have transformed into terrifying chasms. Inventory has quadrupled, an unprecedented glut, and over 55% of listings now conspicuously feature price reductions, some by $100,000 or more. If you're finding this crucial analysis of market vulnerabilities indispensable for your future, please gently hit that subscribe button to discover the nation. Your support powers our in-depth investigations. Phoenix was utterly flooded with investors during the boom, especially iBuyers and institutional landlords who recklessly acquired thousands of homes, often sight unseen. Many of those properties are now catastrophically underwater. With rents falling and mortgage costs relentlessly rising, the financial math simply doesn't work anymore. Some desperate investors are now dumping properties at fire sale prices just to mitigate their colossal losses. Simultaneously, Phoenix locals are being ruthlessly priced out. With interest rates stubbornly above 7%, the monthly cost to buy a median-priced home is now over $3,800. While average household incomes haven't kept pace, many prospective buyers have simply given up. Another critical pressure point is reckless overbuilding. The city's outskirts, in areas like Buckeye, Queen Creek, and Maricopa, are tragically littered with half-empty subdivisions. Builders are offering massive, unprecedented incentives, aggressively dragging down comps in the process. Foreclosures are ominously rising again, particularly among buyers who stretch their finances with low down payments. Even FHA-backed loans are beginning to default, signaling deeper systemic trouble ahead. Experts grimly predict Phoenix could face a brutal 60% price collapse, ruthlessly returning home values to pre-2015 levels. In many chilling ways, this is déjà vu from 2008, but potentially even more dangerous because this time the overvaluation is broader and the economic headwinds are demonstrably stronger. Phoenix isn't just falling, it's unequivocally leading the crash.
Final thoughts. The message is clear. The 2025 housing crash is no longer a prediction. It's a full-blown disaster unfolding in real time. Across America, once booming cities are now drowning in listings, price cuts, and desperate sellers. From desert suburbs to coastal retreats, no region is safe. Equity is vanishing overnight, and mortgage payments are crushing families. The American dream didn't disappear here, but it did get distorted. Builders are panicking, buyers have vanished, and investors are racing to dump properties before the market implodes. So if you're looking to buy in these markets, be cautious, be informed, be strategic. Not every sunny promise hides a paradise. Some are planted in markets that won't recover for years. Don't forget to like this video, share it with anyone who needs to see this vital information, and of course, hit that subscribe button for more in-depth analysis from Discover the Nation. We'll see you in the next video. Because sometimes knowing where not to buy can be the best investment decision of all.